It's a little facial hair thing. You know, I've been working on it.
They must have amnesia. I mean, they forgot that you're the wizard.
Yeah, they forgot that I'm him. Of course, we have the ban phase coming up for Geekay versus Nip as we are finally in the game. If you're just now tuning in, the map is Bank. Not a map either team has played throughout Stage 2, even NIP having far more maps there, or at least in their history, than Geekay did inside of the regular league. But Monty being banned on Bank, not at all a surprise. Twitch follow-up, though, maybe a little less common, but one that makes it.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I mean, in the current day and age, we kind of have a different version of her that some argue to be better, but she has the 417, so that's, you know...
Such a good...
Exactly, you got to meet in the middle on some of these things, right? So I really like the Monty ban, though, out from Geekay here. I mean, that's a spot ban up against Nip any day of the week. You don't want them to have that, especially on a map like Bank, so very respectful of them doing their homework. Valkyrie also going to be removed next to Azami. So, I mean, for all intents and purposes, making a heck of a lot of sense for these two. Now it gets down to the nitty-gritty, though. Geekay have got to put together a defensive side.
And one tool they have at their disposal, thanks to NIP's Nip ban, is the Mira, which is left up through the ban phase, but also Twitch is one of the primary counters to those black Mira windows, just zooming on in, popping the red canister, zooming back out. Now, of course, on the opposite side, if Geekay are looking to run a more roam-intensive strategy, they might neglect to bring the Mira completely, as Solus also on the board in Geekay's lineup immediately. But I have to imagine since NIP banned that Twitch, we will see them run Mira on the defense 6 rounds.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot that can be done with that, especially on this map. Mira's got a lot of different ways that you can kind of layer things. I mean, obviously, we all know what the basement setup usually ends up looking like with that. So, see what they can get going on. But as of now, the setup almost done. We're going to be starting off downstairs. We have some solid utility choices here. I especially like that Trix is on Echo. This is one of his pivotal locations across any map, is the basement on Bank. You can get so much good info out of these yokais. It's a good supporting tool, as well as he can handle this entire garage by himself for the most part. That's actually exactly what he's going to do. He's sitting on top of a mute jammer as well, too. So it's going to make it where they can't drone him out nearly as successly around the tire of that truck.
Now, there is no deployable shield in garage, so he only has this van for cover. So if somebody does lurk down, and let's say he's on that van, the rotation back is a little bit undefended, but we'll see how NIP decide to deal with that. Ying also on the board. It's brought by Psycho in the very first round. One of her best, probably, I mean, every map is good for Ying if we're being honest, but on this map in particular, throwing Candelas down through the red hatch, through the server hatch, that's in many ways how often attacking teams will need to open up that bomb site, because you have the attack, they'll start on the second floor, right? They'll go to full clear the map, take full control, but because of how large Bank is, and especially if an attacking team is slow, you'll need those Candelas to kind of break the stalemate and push on in. So Psycho will be a key attacking operator, and NIP need to keep alive. They've already moved in pretty quick, though, and are looking to cut off 2 roamers playing inside of Tellers. One is Noodle on that mute, who's facing a lot of pressure from nades from Square. There's a Buck up above as well, who might be a bit of a problem. There's so much support from Geekay, all stacked around this position. He might just find the first angle, but playing it passive for the moment.
This is what we always get so worried about when it comes to squads trying to play up against Nip. Their patience is just so good. They're constantly on top of time, making sure that they are striking the iron while it's hot. And that's the key thing, is that they wait for it to be at, you know, such a maximum point. This little yokai here keeping track of the Buck. Now, the key thing is that you really want to be able to deliver something from underneath, but it looks like Hasham might not be able to do so. Instead, he's going to get gunned down. Info be damned. Cons will be able to pick that up. And now Ninjas in Pajamas have been able to at least equalize, although they have lost Wizard, which pretty important when it comes to the hatch play of this map.
Yeah, this is definitely a win for Geekay moving into the execute at this point. Solus, I mean, is really good when you're looking up through vertical floors, say you're playing beneath CEO to deny a plant, but on this site, I mean, she's fine. She can find intel on players, but losing a Hibana on NIP, you're really relying on those Candelas to open up the site. There might be a lot of hatches already open, as Geekay have been playing a very flexible setup to retreat down to the bomb site, move back down to that first floor. So, might just be okay, but now Muzi goes down as he vaults out, peeks the hatch into the small office, and NIP moving into this at a disadvantage. Those Candelas becoming so important by the end. They are the one tool remaining, alongside the smoke grenades on that same operator. Try to make this execute a little bit easier for NIP to work.
moments away. The key thing right now is that Geekay has kept things so well spread, right? They really stuck to their strategy and made it to where Ninjas in Pajamas have had to deal with this every single step of the way. And to be honest with you, although they did have a very solid clear with the upstairs portion, I mean, it's really not going to matter at the end of the day. They should be having the plant go down here momentarily. Psycho can't find a spot. The smoke's eating him alive. And that's it, yeah. So, I mean, mostly what I was leaning into is that they go for the top clear, right? But I don't think that they understood the amount of bodies that Geekay had on that mid floor, and they just got caught up in timing. With a setup like that, you really want to just try and find your portion of the map that is the most pivotal to you. In this scenario, it's more than likely going to be open area, and they didn't try and do anything with that. Instead, they went over the top of archives and tried to use CEO. What we really wanted to see there, probably a little bit of an abuse of stock. So maybe next time around, we'll have to see.
NIP really wanted to clear those roamers. They really wanted to get that man advantage and push them back, but they were so focused on it, not making use of open area, as you said, or stock. It ended up being that all they acquired for 2 minutes of effort was an even man count at a 4v4 and relatively little control to make an execute work with. So, Geekay will take their first defense and move into open area 1-0
really?
on the match so far. You expected CEO to be the next side up?
No, it's not that. It's that Hisham is opening up all of the cubicles.
Oh, so that is a little interesting because typically, I mean, you see a lot of defenders try and use those as cover, especially if, say, a team is rushing into the printer window.
Yep.
That can be often very safe haven.
Oh, I love the free cam.
It's just so nice. So nice.
Medics, you make me so happy. Oh, man.
Now we have multiple observers, too, so you can, like, have someone set up a shot in advance, then cut to it. Oh.
This isn't your dad's Rainbow Six Siege.
No, this is not.
Hisham was just showing us that, too. And now we dash through walls and stuff. It'd be pretty interesting, though, with that setup, getting back on point here, because like you were saying, they use that really often for cover, and that makes it to where Paper Window could be pretty easily exploitable by NIP. And huge change here for them. If you've noticed, we got a lot more info game, which I was really surprised that we didn't have in the first thing. Like, Habana, Ying, that's fine, but everything else, especially like the two auxiliaries past Buck, I really think that those were interchangeable and they could have brought something that allowed them to get a little bit more info across the map. But as we know, Ninjas in Pajamas, they're no slouch, and that's why you see the audible already.
Something we didn't mention as well, Duffy, one of the most impressive, but also one of the most banned attackers so far in the past couple months. And so, out of round one, but now Wizard decided to bring her in round two. Ace already making some great progress on that cafe wall. 2 different holes, I believe, or at least one, already opened up. All Selma's used as well. Only able to get that one hole, of course, so he actually, this is the default position you typically play on this wall as well, so he's got to be careful. He can very much still play this position and stop anybody from walking in the cafe double.
Yeah, most definitely. Really interesting, too. I think somebody missed a part of the setup there, because you saw he was trying to get the top of the wall open for his impact, so definitely could be a moment that we look back on, and be something the Ninjas in Pajamas are very happy about. Nitro Cell pre-placed upstairs, just waiting for the Bucks' arrival. As soon as Pino tries to open this up. Oh, man, had to hold my breath on that one. He's just moments away. Trick's more than likely just getting that audio from Key or someone hearing that skeleton key and just a little bit too late on the trigger. That's okay. Ninjas in Pajamas, as we expect. Yeah, there's been a lot of the round gone, but not a lot of fighting. They're usually able to try and pressure people, get them to step back, and take portions of the map that way, and it's working swimmingly for him right now.
Woozy might just be the difference maker, though. He has found himself into tellers. He has a very solid angle through the small office.
Last call.
Cutting off. Open area in half. Last Dokkaebi call does go out.
I don't think she sent it.
Ooh, did she not?
Yeah, I think she clicked it for a second and meant to get up.
Yeah, there we go. But now the call is triggered. Khan's pushing down. Woozy will probably hold his angle inside of tellers, but we still need to see the follow-up from NIP. We've yet to see it in this game, but Khan's flirting with an engagement. Human goes off, but the pre-fire certainly lands. 2 different players, though, could be problems. Noodle all the way on the back stairs, but NIP got a solid advantage to start. Rotates over to Marble. Moozy's angle finally comes alive. Asham's been beneath this hatch for at least half the round. Will likely be where he remains. He'll try to push up the stairs eventually. Surely he's not going to climb up the hatch. No, he'll move up the server stairs. Bomb's already down to this point. NIP might have played it slow, but they set up their angles to get this bomb down. Now they hold their position stalwartly to finish off the post plan. They know his position too. All a matter of time. Finally, the clock runs out.
A much more solid understanding of the setup, and it's all garnered via Dokkaebi and really good drone work, and that's exactly what we expect out of Ninjas in Pajamas. I mean, what else do you say about that? I mean, it's just a masterclass from them, as we usually expect when it comes to these offensive strategies, and really what I expected out of them in round one. We just get it with the audible instead.
it was a very, very solid showcase of how they play the game. No real barreling into sight. No real, even...
No fat on it either.
No fat. No fat whatsoever. They've got the angles they need, and sometimes maybe they need a little bit of a buffer if one angle doesn't work out. But when it works, it looks clean as hell. Moving up to CEO now. This is another bomb site. You can play very linearly. Play off those windows, move into top square through the double door. It's like open area, at least in the sense that you can attack it almost entirely from that top floor, holding angles either outside of the building or in the building. So NIP, especially bringing that OSA, which allows you to push into the bomb site a little bit easier, or place them on the CEO windows if you want to get a different angle. That OSA will be a big help for NIP, likely wanting to play CEO a similar way to they attack the open area bomb site 1 round ago.
Really hope we get to see one of our favorite strategies with OSA, where they do the double rappel and then pop the window for the guy.
Oh, yeah.
I always love it when we see that. Yeah. So, and also Psycho, love that we're bringing in the Flores here. Those Rotero drones, so pivotal in modern day Siege.
And often you see those Rotero drones, specifically designed to deal with Kiba barriers. Of course, Azami off the board right now. When you don't have necessarily a lot of...
That skin is... I'm sorry, that skin is just so beautiful for that AK.
Pull it back out.
Yeah, look at it.
Stop sprinting.
Is that new? It has to be new. I've never seen that in my life.
I'd put the Claymore away. I'll see the gun. Stop shooting.
Pino.
Just stand still.
There we go, Pino.
There we go. That is very nice. As I was saying, Flores often use those Rotero drones to clear Kibas, but with no bulletproof utility really all that present on the defense. I mean, you have the deployable shield from Noodle, but not much beyond that, and it's already dealt with, in fact. The Rotero drones can just be helpful, plopping them down beneath somebody's position, forcing them to rotate to a different spot, or opening up soft walls in this case, as often you have at least one part softer. I actually don't even know what that was. He's dead at the floor.
He did indeed. I don't think that he really had the timing there for it. He's trying to roll him off the roof, that's why.
Yeah. That'll do it.
Yeah, kind of a hard spot, especially if you're not right up on that wall. So, as you said, sometimes soft walls over on this side. I mean, sometimes you see like one reinforcement panel just to try and get them to, force one of the sides that they prefer on the defense. But Geekay is going to go against the grain in that regard. Concussions out here. Not really meeting their maker, though. And Noodle, prime position right now in checkers to try and deal with this. Key as well. This timing could work swimmingly for him. I don't know if they caught the tailcoats of him. It looks like they did. There's a drone as well. This MP5 is going to have to do a lot of work because this disc, it doesn't have time. They'll get rid of it. Psycho trying to assist his teammate. They got multiple angles here, but as we know with Nip, patience is a virtue, and they will constantly exploit it. They are waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for that perfect angle to take him out. Those shots not landing as, well, the Cubicle doing a bang-up job of soaking up these shots. And across the map, Geekay getting things done. Pino down from the far windows. Cons as well. And Ninjas in Pajamas, although stuck for a moment, finally clean it up. They'll open the door here, at least on this far side, but a lot more heavy lifting to go.
Big problem, though. Diffuser dropped right in front of Leader with that shotgun. Has a clean angle onto the entrance outside of janitor position. Michael might just find a long angle, but Noodle hitting those shots far better today. 4v2's been the name of the game so far, every single round, at least the two we've seen, but Muzi starts to fight back. Leader's backed off from the diffuser, so thankfully it's recoverable, but Muzi on a hunt down below, trying to find the player playing downstairs, but he's all the way over inside the main lobby. There's just no intel for Wizard to play with. Muzi walks back up, the diffuser still not recovered. Excellent, solid round from Geekay in round 3 at this point. Though there might be a free kill on the Solus rotating up the back stairs. Well, it's just an awkward position, isn't it? Sometimes it's your very own gadget that does you in. But a good second round from Geekay as these defenses seem to be going very well for them in the first half.
Yeah, most definitely. Very impressive, and I think the thing that's standing out the most to me right now, especially with that last round, their patience, right? They're really trying to force Ninjas in Pajamas onto bad timing, and it's working out swimmingly. I mean, the clock is eating at them. It's making it to where they have to make these rash decisions, like what we saw inside that 2v4. There's no way in hell that the best decision is to just fly into Janitor and just take a random fight somewhere when Muzi is all the way downstairs as ace. He literally can't do anything vertically.
No trade possibility.
It's just like that's the exact opposite of what we expect out of Ninjas in Pajamas. We expect them to use the most out of their timing, but you can definitely tell what was happening to them from I do believe Trix over inside of stock was really, really bugging them. They tried to just slot things in a different way, made that quick move over towards, Janitor with the case in hand and lost it instantaneously.
I mean, Geekay really have the game plan to counter NIP right now, and you got to give credit, just coming in, this being your first international event. Of course, you have some experienced players, Leader and Noodle, but the strategy, the counterplay, to make NIP uncomfortable. Know they take a long time to attack, force them to make mistakes, force them off balance, like you just said. That's exactly what Geekay need to do. And running up the scoreboard on the defense once you get to your attacking sides later, we'll have to see how that is. But Geekay, they are achieving the win condition right now. If they want to win this best of one, they are on track to do what they need to beat NIP in this debut game.
You can tell that Nip, you guys getting under their skin a bit, man. You can see they're pissed off just with this operator lineup. You don't bring Jackal unless you're angry, because Dokkaebi is literally right there. So they are looking to try and find these auxiliary players, these people that are truly being the thorn in the side of Nip's setup. And if they can accomplish that, we're more than likely seeing a 2-2 here.
We'll have to see how successful NIP are at dealing with these roamers, as while there was a very aggressive stance.
He got it. What a shot there from Movesy.
We do not see that often. You always see people try to dodge the mute jammer, and it's very difficult to make work. But good play from Muzi right there to make that happen. Of course, there were, I think, a lot more defenders stationed, or at least directly inside of Tellers last time, but now Shum is backed off the Solus, playing closer to the elevator hatch instead of Marble. He playing in open area again, but Noodle even closer inside of open area. Before, they were playing aggressively, but all holding their positions. Now, they're playing even more passively, not nearly as in the face of NIP as they were before. And these Yokais were a big problem for NIP last time. Never shot on that top floor, constantly relaying intel about Pino's position. See if NIP spot them this time.
That's the main issue that a lot of people have with Nip whenever they play him. They get a little bit too gung-ho about things, and this team is so good at holding angles and waiting for that outplay moment. I look at Nip as a counterattack team, right? They're always waiting to just get that perfect block so they can parry and strike. But Geekay, like you said, they're playing this perfectly. They need to stay patient. They need to stay resilient. The beauty of defense is that they got to come to you, baby. They got to score, right? So, and Geekay is playing that with a beautiful intention. And honestly, it's more than likely the team, but also leader at the top of this. Once again, Wizard. And here's the other thing that makes me angry as a Siege fan. You're Habana. So why are you just walking aimlessly through open area without any of your teammates? Fortunately, you got a Pino, and Pino will be able to trade that out. But as of right now, Geekay's looking like they could do this, at least from the defensive end. This is very, very solid. Ninjas and Pajamas don't really have an idea of how to clear this map.
No, I mean, at this point, the job's done, right? But not because of what they did. Geekay have said, all right, we got to kill on the Hibana. Maybe they don't even know they got a kill, but they just know they got one. And so they back off. They lose the Legion. Yeah, that's fine, I guess, whatever. But you still have 3 smoke canisters. Both the Yokais up there. You might be able to get back to the site if you can route them down properly. Just one. Yep. But still, that's still one Yokai to deny the plant if Pino ends up getting there.
You got it back downstairs, too.
And NIP are struggling to find another way into this Locker's defense. Muzi has those grenades, and Psycho's got those Candelas. So maybe they can make something work with the low time remaining. Finally, we see the drop down the hatch as Pino holds the angle from Marble, and one drops down the elevator. That's Noodle down, but Leader with a very quick trade onto the Ying. Excellent pickup by Cons. Now they have an avenue into the office. Huge flank by Trix. He's at least forced Pino off the plant. Uzi on such low HP. That's a big pickup if they can find it. Pino gets a huge kill. It's just on Hashom now. He's got to cut his way across the garage, take down Muzi as he walks up. Pino stuck in the plant. He's got more than enough time to clutch the 1v.
Oh my God!
Oh, that was sweet. Muzi's back up.
No, he's not.
He's back up.
Oh my God, he
revives himself with the Finka. He doesn't know the wraparound works. What a ridiculous clutch to win their first attack on Lockers.
Get the hell out of here, man. Get the hell out of here. All right, you can bring Zolf's res back. You can do it. You can do it. It's fine. That's so ridiculous. I mean, he downed the Finka, and he's just in like instinct mode, right? He's in fight or flight. He's like, all right, I got the guy down. I gotta go stop the plant. It's 0-0. Sure, he misses the pre-fire, but whatever, right? You know, you got 50 bullets. You can move down a little bit. But that's sometimes that's what makes those little passive abilities work, man. Is when you're in 0-0, when you're in that mindset, you just don't have time to react, and it ends up biting you. That's so insane. That's one of the crazier rounds that I've seen in the last couple of years here for Siege. And honestly, it wasn't even the execute, it wasn't anything, it was just that moment, that interaction that really did it for me.
Geekay won that round up until that point. Like, they played the round perfectly, NIP were playing really slow. They still didn't have any drones or anybody watching the cafe door, so the Legion, even though he's traded out, is able to get the kill flanking through that doorway. Geekay had it. They had it in the bag. And it just so happens that because Muzi picked Finka instead of Yana at the beginning of the round, now NIP have a second win.
Okay, well, we got the Doke back in. We'll keep the ace here. No more Habana. Amaru in, Yana too, like you were referencing. This is more like it. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of Amaru, but I am in certain situations, and this is definitely one of them. I see Cons ascend to the sky, but we might also see him try and work his way down low through something like dirt, abuse the hatches. something that we'd seen Beast Coast do in our region a very long time ago when this character was relatively introduced to Pro League. And it was actually on this exact map as well.
Up through the open area hatch.
Yeah, and what?
It was up through the open area hatch.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
That
Indeed, indeed. Not this time around, though, for Cons. He's going to go upstairs and see what he can get done. He's got Noodle here, and he's going to miss a very crucial shot, but not Muzi. He's going to descend from the sky and be able to take him out, Assassin's Creed style, and that's going to be the opener for Ninjas in Pajamas. I'm
glad we see NIP using the Amaru that way. While it's always exciting to see, you know, them go up a hatch and go for a plant, you know, just gets out. Just gets out, make sure it doesn't detonate beneath the floorboards. But the nice thing about that Amaru, of course, you can go through the hatches, but NIP, who have been struggling to acquire control in a timely manner, just clearing out the top floor and immediately having Cons fly in through the window, pinch the guy on marble stairs. That's the exact kind of adaptation we needed to see from NIP, who have been struggling to speed up their attacks. In the final 2 rounds, of course, better late than never. But with the opening pick, they now have probably the best shot they've had at getting a victory so far.
Yeah, and I'm really happy that they brought Wizard back in. They used that first phone call to be able to distinctively know where the defender was. And on top of that, Dokkaebi just has such better utility than Jackal does. Jackal is really good at individual clearing if there's just like one person on roam or maybe 2 that you need to worry about.
They're not big positions.
Exactly. And the other thing is not nearly as useful for your team. You know, you call once on Dokkaebi, all your team can get on drones. You know everything that's happening on the map. So super, super important. Pino's going to go down. What a find from Cons, though. Nice little drop. Be able to open that up. Almost a flick, too, but he really wants it. Leans back into Trix. To be able to take him down. Wizard.
There's a pinch.
Has him locked down. Muzi able to at least clean that up. Hasham right on the back end will be able to take out Wizard, too. Into the 2 versus 2. Sub-minute as well, Carter. It's Hasham and Key. Remember, the longer Key stays alive, the more annoying he can be! Can he get it done? He can't! Muzi will shut him down. It's a triple kill for him. Hasham, 1 bullet away from keeping Geekay in the lead here. Plant potential for Muzi. Only 1 death to his name. Can he make it 2? Hasham does not know where he's planning. He has an opportunity. He has to cross here. Does he just stick behind the bomb chassis? This is really difficult decision-making from Muzi right now. Shots out from Hasham. Muzi knows where he is, relatively speaking! Oh my God, Muz! Again, and again. Brazil, Muz, on a stage, getting it done here on Bank. What a moment, as they'll take the lead for the very first time here between Geekay and Ninjas in Pajamas.
And 2 1vx's now for Muzi that have got NIP at least an even half. I mean, we were really staring down the barrel of a 4-1 at this point, maybe even a 5-1, depending on the site Geekay had available. But because of 2 huge individual plays from Muzi, NIP have found their way back into this attacking half. Now, that doesn't excuse their overall attacks, which have still been, even with that Amaru, little individual, a little discoordinated. What?
Do you see what I see?
He's not gonna stick that, is he?
He is.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is. Wizard's a man.
We've got 20 seconds until that's locked in.
More
He's
of a wizard than you are.
Listen, Wizard always shows up exactly when he needs to. Wizard's not showing up as Callie, I'll tell you that much. I mean, listen, I told you.
You got lucky. You got lucky.
You did the thing I do, whereas you're like, look at this cool up and the attacker repick. They picked the normal up. Well, I guess there goes the last 20 seconds.
But it was a good 20 seconds.
It was a good 20. It was a good little dream, wasn't it?
Not about the destination. It's about the friends we make along the way. Still got that pipe with you?
What?
Dude, you always have it.
I just
blow a ship ring or something.
I don't. Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's Gandalf. You're confusing me.
I know it's Gandalf.
That's one of the other ones. That's one of the other wizards.
You're all the same to me.
That's just insensitive.
Yeah, I just don't like wizards. What can I say? Well, you know, let you go frolic in your magic or something.
You know, I will. Actually, right after this game.
Actually kind of sounds nice.
Yeah, you're not
I don't want to admit that.
No, you're not invited.
That's fair enough.
Not invited. Go away.
I was kind of rude, wasn't I?
Yeah, you were. And NIP, of course, now round 6.
He's dripping though.
It's a nice little uniform right there, isn't it?
Like Cons might not be, impacting things the way he wants to, but he's got that thing on.
He does. He's got a nice little uniform. Oh, I mean, honestly, huge pickup. Uzi has single-handedly won 2 rounds for NIP now. Remove that clutch player, remove the top performer for NIP in this game so far. The likelihood that if you get another man advantage or get another 1v1 that you actually win it now has just increased exponentially for Geekay, thankfully. And NIP have basically continued running their attacks the same core way they've done every time. They maybe changed up in Amaru to acquire quicker control or switch from a Dokkaebi to a Jackal, but it's all revolved around Wizard theoretically doing some hard breaching, but he's died quite often. But Pino always on that buck, taking the second floor, open up down into tellers, It's the same attack that takes 2 minutes. But now a Candela's cooked. He's spotted on a drone, blinded. Excellent drop by Psycho. Makes the 1v1 far more favorable. Back to a 4v4.
Really surprised that he actually went for that sprint too, but I digress. Halfway through the round, Ninjas and Pajamas have made very solid progress. They've got open area. Also, Khan's working his way around main stairs, just trying to hold things down for now while they try and continue to work some of this hatch play. In this 4 versus 4, things will be relatively simple for Nip from this launching pad. They're going to want to get some hatches open and try and abuse the smoke game of Khans and Psycho. Now, here's a really big issue for them, though. You see this man right here? Well, he's got a special pair of glasses. Glasses that let you see through smoke and not get stunned. And if Ninjas in Pajamas' entire strategy rests on the precipice of this going off without a hitch in minimal time, then well, I've got news for you.
Not going to be good. It's not going to be good if Hasham is in a good position. Moreover, he doesn't need to use those glasses. If NIP maybe try to go for a normal plant inside a server, he's got a C4 as well. There's a solution in Hasham's hands for either of the plant spots that NIP are gunning for. Looks like they want to drop down that hatch maybe, but they've handed off the diffuser to Khans now. Psycho instead likely just going to use that hatch to throw Candelas down. There we go. This is walking right into the smoke canisters, right into the C4. NIP have actually hurt themselves with this rotation. They do. So much time wasting. Is Hashom in the right spot? No, smoke canister goes down. Leader's out now, but there's just simply not enough time. Khans has to go for the rotate, but the C4 is perfectly timed. 2-piece for Hashom, 3-piece for Geekay, and a clean round 6. Only a 3-3 half. This could have been a 5-1, Sam.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, either way you cut it, too. That's the thing. Like, Ninjas in Pajamas pulling a lot out there. Some strategy changes that they definitely could have made that could have helped them out. I really feel as though, you know, we did talk about their timing and their patience. I think they leaned into that a little bit too much in certain circumstances. I mean, the huge gleaming beacon of that example, right, would be that very last round. They're so very patient that they allow the defense to keep all of their utility into the last 20 seconds. When Smoke has 3 smokes at 20 seconds, you have now committed a vast error.
Let's talk about leader, by the way. You see a lot of teams like, up 30 seconds, throw. Or even like less experienced smokes, throw their smokes too early.
Yeah.
He had 3 at like 20 seconds left. He was like, no, I don't have a reason to.
Yeah.
Confidence on him. I love that.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. And that's really what you want with important pieces of utility like that. You know what I mean? Smoke is somebody that can entirely shut down a round by himself just by playing his utility correctly.
Yeah.
I mean, I cannot tell you guys the amount of dumb things that I've accomplished with Smoke across the years, whether it be in a competitive match or in ranked. Like, the character is just insane. So, well done to Leader just to keep that mental calmness to be able to deliver the utility in good timing instead of just being like, oh, 30 seconds left, I'm just going to start chucking these things.
But NIP did get 2 key rounds to make this a 3-3, and now moving to the defense. See how Geekay decided to work their attacks.
They're going the old laser gate strat. They got Khans with those on top. I highly doubt that Geekay doesn't clear these, but man, that would be funny.
That's a classic. You stand on like the thing in server, you Rooney gate will like turn off for a second. Is that what we talk about on the server hatch? Yeah, there we go.
They have it on the other one too. They have it for the hatch over in the small office.
And if you look at the lineup from NIP, and no matter the utility, it's all designed just to
Is Psycho close enough to turn that off? Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
oh my god!
No, yeah. So that's what you do with the server hatch and this hatch. If you stand on like a desk, it shuts off the Aruni gate. So when they place hard breaching, you walk off the desk. Free denial. I mean, he's got a Cade Claw in pocket for that very reason. He doesn't need to use it yet. It's simply a backup plan once they see that Aruni gate and clear it. Of course, the rest of the utility though, Electric Claws, the Fenris, it's all meant to stop.
Yes, and here's the thing. This is going to be a big change up for Geekay that they're going to have to try and implement and look into. They know these gates are around. Can you rob the gates?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, well, yeah. You can if you shoot it 3 times, I guess.
I was about to say, the angle's a little weird.
That's going to work out for him. And honestly, that could work out if Noodle just steals the hatches as well.
There we go.
Da, 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 da. And then Leader, that's what I was going to reference past that, but we obviously had that cool stuff going on with Brava. Leader was very important to this, and that was a strategy that I was assuming they were going to lead into. But Brava, she's just such a unique character, dude. Such a cool kid.
And Geekay overall have had a very solid attack so far. I mean, NIP not contesting the middle floor at all, which is a big risk on Bank. That often means you need to allocate resources to that server stairs to compensate for it. But NIP have given Geekay a lot of control, and to their credit, they solved the Renegade trick. They got past it. They figured out the Electric Claws. They've got everything so far, and if they can focus on server stairs, Geekay have a really good attack lined up.
Yeah, they do. A tried and true strategy out of Ninjas in Pajamas here. Got Pino housing himself instead of blue stairs. M590 in hand, as to be expected for the smoke. Noodle knows that he's just around the corner, but he shouldn't give up the goods just yet. If he's swinging into this, he's swinging into it with a purpose. Lots of stuns out, and Yahtzee. Nicely done from Noodle there. Be able to get server control, start opening things up, slowly peeling things back. Hisham, what a moment here for him. Hans, though unbeknownst to him, moments away from death if he steps wrong. Hisham is going to have to go nucleosis past that, because 30 seconds remaining, you really need somebody to be that dagger to match your cloak on this play. You don't want the entire defense being front-facing. So smart. Oh, no, it's so scary now, though. A misstep, a miscue. Cons, he's going to dip back inside, but he dies to leader. They'll open things up, and with 15 seconds remaining, they have to find a home for this case.
They've got to move in. Trix, able to find Muzi. They have an advantage, but do they have the time? Wizard might just have the lineup, but he's in the spin cycle. Psycho with a clean C4, but pinned down inside of gold. Doesn't have a way onto this diffuser. Sniped by Trix. Geekay with one of the most solid attacks we've seen between either of these teams.
Dude, Geekay is walking a camel to the eye of the needle right now. This is ridiculous. Obviously, coming out of the MENA region, beating Falcons, I knew this team was going to be solid.
It had potential.
Right? Yes, yeah. We were not walking into this like, oh, well, this is a Ninjas in Pajamas game.
Might as well forfeit.
Exactly. Like, oh, you guys shouldn't even be here. Like, none of that. None of that at all. And the fact is, on top of that, the fact that Leader has worked so smoothly into this roster that you can't even notice that he's actually just a guy that is a sub.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on, bruh.
This has been a very solid performance from Geekay so far. And again,
Leader's 6-3-4, and he's doing it all. He's doing everything that you could possibly want out of an IGL.
And you might be thinking right now, why are they so hot? Why are they so hot on Geekay? Why are they singing the praises so much? Well, one reason is this could be 6-1 right now if Muzi doesn't clutch 2 1vx's. Geekay'd be on match point, 5-round lead over NIP if Muzi doesn't show up huge in 2 of their attacking rounds. So, of course, we still need to see more from Geekay, right? It was a very good first round, but, Marble Stairs play, for example, Hasham, even though it seemed like he had a kill, there were 3 defenders all around him. So 1 misstep. He was a dead man. Still need to see some more attacks. It's a very good omen for Geekay.
It's also really showcasing the downfall of Ninjas in Pajamas, which is how unbelievably slow they can be at times. Just to respond to anything, it really feels like they want to be calculated about things, but with the pacing that Geekay has in a lot of these situations, it's like what you said earlier. They're in the spin cycle, man. They just really can't make heads or tails of the situation, and by that moment in time, Geekay's already solved the equation.
I'm reloading. Now we're going to a much simpler equation. If you're able to get control of those windows, the CEO attack. Lineup we're seeing has to be a little worried for NIP. Capital, of course, doesn't necessarily indicate a rush, but can get quick if you get the right control on CEO. Lay down those smoke bolts, those fire bolts to clear up the electrical position. Ooh, a little bit of a mishap. Tricks, unfortunately, and they got to be careful. They know where that electro claw is. Those secondary EMPs don't have the radius you think they do.
Absolutely. And that's the hard thing about those electro claws. I mean, you and I, even in games, I've thrown EMPs for you and been like, where the hell is this electro claw, man?
No idea.
And you're like, I really don't know.
I think I drowned. Like,
Exactly. No, I actually know that you don't drone, so. It is a real problem. It really is. Did that actually end up breaking that off? Wow. It did. It broke it. That's crazy. That first Selma break broke it on the other side of the wall there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he got really lucky with that, because that does not happen very often. So Leader, count your lucky stars, and for some reason the Siege Gods despise Nip right now. So
at least like Muzi. Is Nip as a whole though? Not sure about that. Chom's down both of his nades, unfortunately, not able to find any fish down below. So NIP, a lot of the utility NIP need to worry about in the attack, not necessarily presence. Need to worry about cons behind that shield outside of stock. Geekay also taking this very slow so far. Not figured out a lot of these positions. The smoke bolts, the fire bolts going in. Han's able to cut down Hasham, though, moving up the square stairs. Huge pickup for NIP.
Oh, my.
Geekay, are they just sending it in?
My.
Yeah, they will. Osa shield in front of Noodle, sets it down.
Dude.
Not diffuser, too, but can Cons wrap around? Does he have the angle? Throws the impacts, but they go too far. They don't have an angle on this. Huge pickup from Key, but huge pickup from Pino. Spot the diffuser down inside of CEO, and there's no one in the building from Geekay to recover it.
Literal milliseconds separating Noodle and that plant, which would have more than likely been a Geekay round. But now, worse has come to worse. Nip have an opportunity to try and tie things up yet again here on Bank. Leader and Pino will trade. That's going to force Key inside the building. They still have this mirror window over on the side. Is he going to man it? Might actually be out in the hallway. We'll have to see. He's going to drop down the hatch instead. Still have one on this level. Oh, Key! Key! Please! He turns on a dime, but he doesn't know where he is. He's fighting ghosts, man. Psycho's gonna go down. Trix has 2. Somehow, some way, he's figured it out. He's peered through the facade. It's down to Muzi. Both of them, very low HP, but no time. And that is the most valuable resource in the game. Ninjas in Pajamas delayed just long enough to make this situation so volatile for the offense that it's practically unsolvable.
And that's where NIP's proclivity to play a bit tighter of a defense, play a bit more structured of a defense really pays off, because on CEO, you often feel like, oh, we don't need that much. We can just rappel in the window, go for the plant inside of the site, hold angles from the outside of the building, we'll be fine. But then if you do that and you don't do a lot of the work to clear those players inside of the site, force players out of electrical, take the vending hallway away from the defense, then it ends up working out. Whereas on lockers, just playing down on the first floor can often help the attack by giving them all that map control. It's not the same on CEO. So playing structured, not peeking into the attack, that really helped NIP there, where it actually hurt them on the lockers defense.
Yep, top floor is all about solid crosses and solid utility management when it comes to those windows, and that's exactly what we saw. Ninjas in Pajamas are able to stick to their guns. Yeah, they lose a couple of bodies in the process, but the main people that you have to shut down plant situations like that, they all stayed alive and on task. That's exactly what you want. So Ninjas in Pajamas at least finding a semblance of themselves somewhere inside of this map. I think that just as of right now, with what Geekay's doing, Ninjas in Pajamas especially probably didn't want to reach too far into their bag of tricks, because this is a very long tournament, Carter. We don't fly home till the 13th. We're going to have a pretty good time here in ATL, but can't say the same for NIP right now, as Geekay's really making them work for it.
Making them go as far as they can. And when you do have these moments where a game where you don't always treat it like a layup, you know, you're still doing your prep work, you're still doing everything you need to. Like, for mentality reasons, you're like, oh, this is Geekay, this is a meta team. Like, we're NIP, surely we can win this. But once you get to this point, you know, it is 4-4. You're really fighting for every round. You think to yourself, we need to pull out something better. We need to make it work. Well, all Psycho had to do was do a little jiggle peek around the cafe door. Finds Noodle, who found himself on server stairs. Not really lost in terms of the sledgehammer, but only set of nades for Geekay. Definitely a huge loss for the attack.
That's crappy. And I really, really like that out of Psycho. Although it seems very random, it really wasn't. It's a timing check, right? They're about 40 seconds. It already gotten off the clock. He's like, somebody's got to be through dirt by this point. It's a nice check by him. And while we're explaining that, 2 more people are going to go down. I do believe it's all to Muzi's hands on this top floor. Pino's going to take out one. Muzi's going to throw out a nitro cell. He wants tricks too, but tricks are for kids, and he's going to send him back down.
Oh!
Yup. Yes, he is. He is indeed. Leader is downstairs. Somehow, some way, he has worked his way through this entire map, and not only that, he has completely dislodged all of Ninjas in Pajamas in their own bomb site.
I mean,
he's dead.
I was about to say, that's the problem, though, right? Is Leaders found a huge opening, but because of the poor droning and the chaos on the top floor, Trix has got to recover the diffuser, but he's 2 floors away to capitalize off that play. So NIP can easily rotate back, pinch the attacker in their own bomb site, and now it's basically the same situation it was before. Trix is just down a teammate. Now he's got time to drone, of course, and hey, maybe NIP take 2 individual 1v1s, but this is a layup for them right now. They just need to set up a crossfire and get themselves into positions to watch these hatches, watch these stairwells. This should be a win for NIP and an opportunity for them to retake the lead.
Indeed.
Goes.
Rix. He's 10-3 right now. Does he know? Does he know? He knows.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't know well enough, does he?
No,
Pino with the SMG-11. And again, just another one of these situations where we get off in theory land, right? We kind of get off the beaten path and really just kind of see how these teams can work in the ether. And clearly, Ninjas in Pajamas on top of their stuff. A really weird moment there with Leader. I genuinely do like him making that play. I think the crappy thing is that there was nobody else in place for Geekay to try and make a response. And also, I don't really think that other player knew the way in which they wanted to go about that. There was really no, area that was like the gleaming path for them to walk down safely. So can't really knock him too hard on that. Just really sucks for Leader's situation.
But it still all comes back to the poor early round, right? Not droning Muzi, who was just sitting behind that CEO bookcase the entirety of the round. Yep. Pino also being in a position to add a second gun to those fights on the top floor. Let's say, they have a better roam clear and Leader still finds an opening. That's probably, 5-4 for Geekay.
Yeah.
if we have the combination, both of those things working in tandem, that's a huge round win for them, built off by an individual play and a good clear. But in that round, their own clear wasn't there. They got caught off guard by Muzi, so even though Leader finds that play, there's no one to capitalize. And as you said, now NIP take the lead for the second time in this match. They did it once earlier on after Muzi's 2 huge 1vx's, but now, are they putting together the pieces and getting closer, closing this one out in regulation?
It's going to be a sight to behold either way, because I don't think that NIP thought that they were going to be tested here so early on into this play. And yeah, a couple of rounds here or there, maybe a mishap, right? Maybe those 2 rounds that we saw NIP actually end up picking up, maybe not go their way. But the usual suspects you'd expect, but that's not what we're getting at all. These usual rounds that NIP would just easily close out, it's not happening for them right now. It's been a slobber knocker in between these two. Geekay constantly sending shots back, and that's what I respect so much. They're not playing scared. They're playing their own game, and they are doing it damn well.
Just want to see a return to form from that coordination we saw.
Good find.
The Lockers attack from round 7. Indeed, good find. Put in a lot of work to get that drone spot fixed.
Oh?
It's already paid off. Oh, nice little solo rotation off this. He's got the intel himself. Can he find an angle on their window?
These windows are so hard, aren't they?
It's so difficult. The lighting difference, the long angle. Got the Z ping, but no, it's not favorable. One of his teammates watching it. Wiz is down inside of Teller's playing. Not necessary for a C4. Maybe C4 from below in CEO, but the wall's opening up now. IP site being opened up in front of them. Is so focused in that kill in main lobby. Just now walking out, but the first kill officially going NIP's way.
So awkward there. Should be able to get Wizard back up. I mean, we saw the motion over towards Small. Are they really just going to let him bleed out? They are. I think they're worried about the cross. No. He'll go back to the rotation on the other side. I was going to say, they have to have something for rotation on that spot. They're playing open area, and they will indeed. So fortunately be able to get Wiz back up here and potentially get to penultimate point before Geekay.
What are you there?
Manners maketh man. Watch that trigger discipline.
He's got the diffuser, too. That's the nice part. It's not like it's in the hands of some teammate. Oh, he's made it in.
There's no way they're doing it like this.
There's got to be someone to cover, though.
There's 2 downstairs.
And I can hear the Dokkaebi calls covering it. Nobody's reacting. They've got the cross in small office. Bomb's now down. He's landed it.
Holy crap.
Just slowly creeping on in. Barely any teammates to cover beside Noodle. What a find he's made. 3 kills fly Geekay's way. Both remaining defenders on such low HP. The man who can do it all. A 4-piece for Key and a 5th if you count the plant. What a way to tie the game.
What the freaking heck, man. What the freaking heck. I don't even know what to say about that. That's something where it's like, when Nip watches that VOD, they're all just going to put their head in their hands and be like, oh, we're stupid. That's crazy.
Like, the way Key played that, you saw the thought process. He's like, okay, back corner clear, close door clear, hard right clear. I can move in. You saw the process, the methodical nature of it. That was really nice to see from Key.
Beautiful. Genuinely a beautiful round of Siege. It just goes to show you that you don't have to kill your opponent to win these games. You just have to exploit their weaknesses. And the biggest part of that for NIP was Cafe. They had not a single person paying attention to a wide open double door. And no one really just trying to consider anything that could potentially be going on when all that utility starts singing as well. Just no one really having that forethought. So unfortunate for Ninjas in Pajamas, but we'll have to see here. Geekay has been able to tie things up yet again. Gonna head back towards the top floor. Electro Claws down to try and lock things up. And Wizard really hoping that this round can be the one where he can make matters most.
It's important, though. Again, if Geekay doesn't drop those 2 1vx's, the game's over now. They would have won in regulation, but now we are 5-5. Had a very solid couple attacks so far. Yet to see it become consistent. Match point now. That would be the way to make a statement on the first day, the first game of this group. Where CEO was difficult. Just trying to go for those very basic attacks outside the windows. If this Cade Claw messes them up, it was already a bit rough for them last time, but at least they were able to open this position. But if they keep the Kanto wall reinforced, if NIP keep it closed the entirety of the round, that'll be the one small opening Geekay had eliminated.
I don't like this timing right now, Carter. Here we go, Tricks. Let's get this thing open. This shouldn't take longer than a minute. If you're taking longer than a minute on this, you're just, I don't even know what to say to you. This is like the very first wall you deal with. So, EMP's out. Be able to get one. Wizard wants to do the Electro Shuffle on this, but I don't think that he's going to be able to get it.
You got, well, one panel's good. The other one's gone, though. Just the one.
Genuinely, you really only need one side to be able to cover things because look at it this way. Wizard has to favor the right-hand side of that, and if anybody's playing Skylight, he's dead to rights. There's no way that he gets through it. So we'll have to see what can potentially come to be here for Geekay as they've gotten that wall open, this time in really good timing, but I'm still a little worried about the window play, the potentiality of Nip getting some very important picks.
I mean, that's my big concern. I mean, they're just trying to do the same take they really did last time, but there are mirror windows looking at them. They haven't dealt with stock quite that bit. The smoke canisters, they feel like, can make that work. And to be fair, there's nobody playing down below right now from NIP to go for that C4, but there are plenty of hatches open for Muzi to rotate down. Go for that. There are Yokais on the board as well. I just keep thinking with these CEO attacks, Geekay are pinning so much of this on NIP making mistakes as they try to deny the plant. It's
so one-dimensional.
So one-dimensional.
Yeah.
And there you go. This is what happened last time. Cons was able to get the first pick on one of the Geekay attackers, start it in a 5v4, and now Geekay are just trying to do the same thing they did before.
Here we go. And they save the nitro cells here too. Muzi still has the answer to this, but will it sing? You know, we got the Yokai around here somewhere. That smoke should dissipate just at a split second. I think they got him. I think they killed him. They did indeed. They might have got the nitro cell there too. Noodle's going to go down. It's all up to Key. And if there was a person that you wanted to try and win this situation out, it would have to be him. He's got to worry about CEO. He's going to hop the window. Key! Oh my! Folks, he's so close. You have no idea. This is going to be so hard for Wizard, and it's because he's a 3 armor. He's so loud. That's the problem. He's not going to be able to sneak back upstairs and try and surprise this Repel player. It's already Key's world that we're living in. It just makes it so much harder because he can hear him stomping up to the case. Key, he's just waiting. Moments away. 3 seconds. 2, 1. And now he can peek him. That's it. Just like that.
Match point acquired for Geekay. 2 1vx's from Muzi, and now 2 huge rounds from X-Key. This man has done it for Geekay at this point. He has some big rounds and has acquired match point. I mean, just one more attack, one more big play from Key, or just one good round from the team. Geekay will take down NIP the first day of the Atlanta Major. Not eliminate, of course, but send them down to that lower bracket.
And I mean, I got to say this because there might not be another opportunity for us to say this throughout the rest of this tournament. This is Nip's group. This is there is no ifs, ands, or buts.
They are the number one.
You can ask you could ask my grandma for God's sakes. She'd be like, yes, Sammy boy, Ninjas in Pajamas is gonna win group A. That's what happened.
Jesse and I were watching the group draw on stream. We saw Nip get this group. We're like, was this rigged? Did they
It feels like it.
And that's not saying, you know, that Geekay is a slouch or Sandbox is a slouch. Just NIP are that team. They're top 8 at Copenhagen against one team that went out in play-ins, one team, 2 teams that weren't even at Copenhagen.
Yep.
Like, that's their group. And Geekay in this match have been able to bring NIP to the brink.
10 seconds left.
Theoretically, and now officially, as they've taken match point.
Yo, shout the hell out to Leader, though. Because, my God, are you calling a game, man? Doing a great job. The fact that Ninjas in Pajamas could not handle the exact same strategy on the top floor when you have all of the utility in place to do so, it just boggles my mind.
It really did ultimately come down to shooting that C4 out of the air, though. I mean, the mirror was in that position for it to land, but Geekay, even though they were going with the same linear take, which I still don't know if I quite like, they had the positions correctly, and thankfully with a bit of luck, they were able to land it.
Oh, no!
The run out fails!
It's the Roni, boy! It's the Roni! He ran out of ammo! Straight up!
I mean, that's one of those plays on round 12. You feel like you got to make a move. You feel like you got to bring this back. But if it doesn't work out, you've handed Geekay a man advantage. They've got a 5v4. And as they go to full clear the map now, there's not as many people to play trades. Muzi was the player on this roam game before. Now he's gone.
Yep, that's it right there for it, man. For me. You literally just read my mind. I was like, whoever called your top fragger jumping out of a window, you're wrong. I'm just sorry. Like, that's just bad. Especially in a situation like this. Yeah, I totally understand trying to catch him off guard. And yeah, you had a moment, right? You had an opportunity. But this is what you get if things go the wrong way.
There's only so many rounds left, and if you're gambling things on that, if you lose that fight, you end up paying for it dearly.
Yeah, let's put all things on black in one of the first initial rounds, and then we'll see where it goes from there. Not when Geekay is 1 round away from beating a hammer-lifting squad in regulation.
We've reached a point, too. I mean, NIP have to hold on to this control. They can't just give up the middle floor. But in the disadvantage, Pino's got to overperform. He's got to get at least a kill here before backing off to make it even. Maybe Cons as well on the blue stairs. Something's got to give, and it's got to go the way of NIP.
They're really looking for 2 right now. If they can get 2, everything is okay. But, I mean, just looking at the situation that is dawning their doorstep, it is not a good one. Now, I will say this. They do have good timing. But that's because Geekay is using so much of this clock. Because they got that pick so early on moves, they're able to drone things out, use some of these dope calls. Tricks. Oh. This is it right here. This is a huge moment in between these 2. Tricks constantly battling back, but Wizard wants it. Pino will take one down. 3 versus 3. This is what we wanted. Nip, they can do it. Cons is going to get at least 1, but Leader will trade it out into the 2 versus 2. There's 45 seconds remaining, folks. Lots of time on this clock. The case is in no one's hands. Hasham has found Pino. It's down to Cons. He's 10-10. He wants to be 12-10. He's got that nitro cell in his pocket and a moment to shut this down.
Now, the one issue for Geekay, though, we got no drones. We only have 1 drone remaining. No E1Gs. He doesn't win the fight. Cons sees him right in front of him. He still has the C4. He doesn't need to take the gunfight. Leader's got to hope he wins the straight one-on-one with Cons despite full intel. The pre-fire works out. Overtime on the board as NIP just saved the game.
Dude, what a round there. And it just shows you how things can devolve in situations like that where your nerves are getting to you. The moment means so much, and they separate.
Yep.
They separate downstairs, Lynx. There's no tradability. There's no way that somebody can try and capitalize on anything going on with Cons around there. The beauty of the Vector and Mira is that the gun shoots so fast that if you're able to get on top of her after she's taken a couple of fights or taken like one pretty major one.
Might be reloading.
Might be completely done with things. Now, she might have that secondary shotgun. That's a whole different story.
We won't get into that.
Yeah, but, you know, then we're getting really off into nothingness there. But either way, though, what a round from Ninjas in Pajamas. But let's be real. What a round from Cons, because he needed to lock that down in such a major way, and you could see the energy on their faces. Muzi probably just counting his lucky stars. Just, oh, thank you, God.
I mean, as a player, when you make that play, it doesn't work out, and, you know, you then end up losing the game because of it. I mean, that really takes a toll on you. Sure, it's just the first best of 1, but now you're in the loser's bracket when you maybe could have been up, could have helped things. That's a big blessing for Muzi. That's not on his shoulders. But to be fair, Geekay get to start on the defense here. That was their best side by a wide margin. It was a 3-3, could have been a 5-1 hack for Geekay, and they get that side to start out. So NIP have a break. They got a breath of fresh air. They're moving into overtime, but Geekay still very much in this.
Yeah, I'm very worried with that bit of info you were talking about there, because Geekay, like you were saying, their defensive end has been very solid, and Ninjas in Pajamas' offense has been anything but. It's been very, very slow, and honestly, they truthfully should have only gotten 1 round on their last offensive side. But thanks to Muzi and his A, valiant efforts, and B, just downright luck with that Finka play, I mean, things end up working out. So, fortunately enough for them, we've reached this moment here, overtime up against Geekay, our MENA region representative. And honestly, when we sat down here, I thought that we could maybe see max regulation. I didn't think we were seeing OT here on Bank.
I didn't really either. I thought Geekay maybe put up a really good fight in regulation. But man, they put up a really good fight overall and stretched to overtime. Thanks to NIP, not thanks to Geekay. Dokkaebi on the board, though, for NIP. Not going with that Jackal. First call goes out. Capitalization, though, might force a bit of uncertainty from Geekay defenders. A lot of intel. One will drop down the elevator hatch, so Geekay slowly pulling their forces back down to that bottom floor. These echoes have been, these yokais have been so good for the attack. Or the defense, excuse me. 1 spotted. That was the final one gone, though. Doesn't have any more of those yokais for the post play.
Well, as to be expected. Things are very quiet right now. I know, you're so shocked. Ninjas in Pajamas, methodically clearing out the mid-floor. Don't believe we have a Geekay body anywhere to really worry about that I saw. Yeah, let's get a head count down here. That's 4. I don't see our 5th, but I'm sure there they are. So, looks like we will have every single body down low. Just awaiting the arrival of Ninjas in Pajamas. Now, the beauty of this for Geekay is the fact that Nip takes so unbelievably long to try and set these things up, majority of the time, that if they do play solid utility going into the dying moments of this, they can just win it out. Now, Leader's already used one of his smokes, so they only have 20 seconds of denial on that, but they still have an impact Actually, 3 of those. A Yokai, I do believe, tricked in Garage.
No Yokais anymore. Oh, wait, no, he does have one.
He has one in Garage,
Oh,
yep. And then we also have the Nitro Cell here for Hisham with those goggles on top of it, too. For Smoke out here, Nitro Cell, or was that the other Smoke? I think
that was the final smoke from Leader. So there is a bit of a gap between when that smoke will dissipate and when NIP can go for a plant. And that's where Hasham's C4 needs to land, or that Yokai needs to land a stun. He trying to play on that hatch. Easy find by Wizard. Psycho now putting the bomb down. Yokai caught again on that hatch. Wizard putting in a huge play up above the red hallway. Hasham does find one, but he's not in position for anybody to counter. NIP have got all the angles set up. Noodle's the only success on this retake so far. He's up above. Tricks down below. Finds a 1v1. Oh, doesn't find the angle just for the moment. And once Khan's retakes, down goes the Echo. Noodle finally drops, but everyone from NIP is in their positions in behind this OSA shield. NIP in the position they thought we'd be at the beginning, but it's taken a lot longer to get there, Sam.
Yeah, yes, indeed. What a crazy round there. Geekay, just a couple pieces of utility away from taking that round. I mean, right on the precipice there. The Nitro Cell not really landing too well, ended up getting shot out of the sky. I really didn't like the smoke delivery, especially. Just like the immediate follow-up when you already had the one popped was a little awkward to me, and I really don't know what Leader used his initial one for. That was more than likely just to try and combat somebody around main stairs or something like that, but I digress. Geekay gonna use their tactical timeout, which is just truly insane to me that it's been, you know, this long throughout the game. Neither one of these teams has used a timeout yet, but hey, it's just like football, man. You don't go to the half with timeouts, you don't end the game with timeouts.
I still think it's a good time for Geekay to take a pause. They have to win 1 attack and 1 defense if they want to close this game out with a win.
13-10 for Key, 12-7 for Tricks. And I mean, just everybody across the board for both of these respective squads. Even Wizard, you know, I mean, 4-12, but like he's doing the, you know, the essentials, right? Yeah. He's doing the heavy lifting, the stuff that nobody really wants to do.
I mean, you talk about that. I mean, sure, he got the kill on the Key, but he also got the kill on the Yokai, moving beneath the red hatch that round. That was a big play. Maybe that Echo gets in position, stops the diffuser. So picking that up, sure, it's not registered as a kill, but that's certainly impactful. And also for the rest of NIP, you know, we've been definitely, you know, hyping up Geekay quite a bit, talking, you know, not down to NIP, but definitely, you know, they've been very slow talking about their problems, but individually, Wizards are the only one who's not showing up. You said everyone else. I mean, Psycho is just on the brink of breaking 10 kills to be the 4th player on NIP with double digits. It's a bit more spread out from Geekay. It's a bit more all over the place. Sure, there's standout players. Key, for example, Tricks, another one. But it's a very solid across-the-board performance from NIP as well. So when they do get set up in those positions, when they are able to get the bomb down, you can rely on everyone to do their job.
It's truly unbelievable. Very, very remarkable stuff here from Nip. And like you were saying, although the scoreline doesn't show it, there's definitely been some moments for Wizard here as well. Just, you know, sometimes things don't work out for you, and that's definitely the situation that we have rearing its ugly head here right now for him. He's going to end up getting that hatch sealed up. Not exactly a job for a 3 armor, but early on in the round doesn't really matter. Nobody's going to be able to beat you on timing, so he'll be able to steal that. He is more than likely work his way in towards that mid floor, start working some of this hatch play, and my God, man, when's the last time you saw this piece of piece of equipment when it comes to this gun?
You don't see the LMG all that often anymore. Didn't see Finka all that often until they brought the nades back into her back pocket.
Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me.
It's like we're back in early 2022. Like nothing
it's like
changed.
a depressed all over again.
Well, thankfully, the LMG recoil is different, so it's not as bad as it once was. Interesting strat from NIP, as you can see. They got the Clash solo inside a server at the moment. Just vibing. Just hanging out. Got Pino on server stairs as well, but Clashes will just chill there for the time being. Hopefully delay time later on in the round, as Geekay have typically gone for a server-sided execute most of their lockers attacks so far. Psycho will be a very unpleasant surprise once Geekay start finding intel on that bottom.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be a really big deal, too, because you can see they're focusing really hard on what's going to be going on with this hatch play. Electro Claws. Wizard.
Ooh.
Might have it, actually. Let's see here. Yeah, I think he does. Ooh. Yep. Very nicely done. Well managed. And here's the other portion. Habana, I do believe now on drone. Yeah, Key. And he doesn't even know about that hatch either. So they're going to have to go back and try and address it. Luckily, Noodle's here to try and help them out. And just to keep things on top of this. Another EMP out. Does he get it picked up in time? He does, and he delivers it. Oh, my God. I think he's done it.
No way.
There's no way.
He's got this.
Is this the way that they go out? Oh, my God. Oh, my God, Carter.
I mean, you were talking about play that doesn't register on the scoreboard. There's 2 of them right there.
Yeah. Exactly what I'm talking about. This is what we're seeing. Wizard with the electro slide. Not in the electro shuffle. The shuffle never works. The slide, though, he's going to have to teach me this.
This is just heartbreaking for Geekay at this point as their way into this attack.
You can see Noodle. He's just like, I'm going to dirt. I don't know what to do.
I mean, what do you do at this point? But look, they're dropping down into dirt, and what's there? A clash is waiting for them. They haven't cleared out server stairs either, so there's Pino with the MPX, who's now retreating back to the site. Can hold a long angle. Geekay have to go over that server take, but they don't have the amount of angles open to them that they've had before. There's so much utility staring them in the face.
Oh, no!
And Noodle cuts down Key as the Hibana walks in. Now, Leader finds one. Okay. Noodle finds another. There's a clash on the board, so it's only 2 guns up from NIP at the moment, and now the clash is gone. The team kill might not matter. Wizard spots one. Can he get the kill? Can he save it? There's garage players there, and outside of red, no, he cannot. Moosey's got to cut his way through 3 separate angles. Flash takes away his vision. He finds one, but it's not enough to close it out. Geekay had no business
the math
on
is not mapping.
any plane of existence to win that round, and yet we find ourselves on round 15 nonetheless.
Better stop your wizard shit right now. I'm telling you, this is ridiculous. This is unprecedented what we just witnessed. Not only did Noodle ice his own teammate, but they somehow, some way are able to get a multitude of kills because Nip are swinging for the fences in server. Yeah. And then Wizard, bless his heart before I say this, but he can do everything except shoot. It is just not really working out for him on that front right now. Now, to be honest, obviously our Geekay, team making themselves some pretty hard targets, especially over in the server area. But right when he swung into the garage angle, you're like, oh yeah, this is curtains right here. So what a round there from Geekay, just not shying away from the fact that there is always an opportunity to win a round in Rainbow Six Siege.
Both of these teams have multiple rounds at this point that just should not have gone their way, that we were calling the other way, calling for the other team a minute left to go, just because it seemed undoubted that possible outcome. But NIP, Geekay, they have multiple rounds in their score at this point that they just had no business winning, and it's all brought us to round 15. If there was ever a time for Moosey to show up, for Geekay to show up, make that play, it's right now.
Yep. Well, Sauron, I'm gonna need you. Whatever.
Different guy.
I mean, whatever, dude. Consult your orb. Tell us what's going on.
He's got a different. I'm looking at the Palantir right now, and I see a crazy round 15 in our future.
Well, Psycho's feeling that too. He's gonna drop the Dokkaebi. Whoa. Slow it down. Slow it down. Hey. Okay, we've been doing a little bit too much day drinking here. I can tell. This is something serious. Time to have a meal, get some water under you.
We're not about to have a CEO rush to end round 15. I don't know if my heart can handle that.
I swear to God, if this is how we're actually starting this event, I'm gonna. Oh yeah, no, it's locked. It's done.
I know they're locking the glass, but it's got to not be a rush, right? I mean, we don't have any. No. Okay, no, I guess we have to smoke some glass.
There's 3 people on this side. I don't know. Oh, I'm getting really scared right now, Carter. I'm getting really worried.
Oh, we'll see what happens. We'll see what NIP have planned, but. And they trend slower, so probably see the glass in this window for a good majority of the round, but...
Never been more clenched in my life just by an operator lineup. This is ludicrous.
Okay.
Also, medics, you killed this fly-through cam. Man, that looks so good. I jinxed it.
Didn't make me right.
Just immediately teleports to the floor. They're going to slow that up eventually, though. The height change right now is just incredibly fast. Like, even if you tap the button, it's like, do you want to be 10 feet below the floor? So, eventually we'll get it. But the free cam has been so awesome. Great addition to Siege, and great addition for us over here on the Siege Esports end.
And it certainly helped elucidate one thing. There's no Mira currently present for Geekay's defense. Hash, you got to find a way out, man.
Hash, run!
You're stuck in the corner.
Oh, no.
There's so little for him to do. There's angles to his left and to his right. The bookcase broken open. Hash will just stay here, waste utility,
just prone it out,
play his life.
Just prone it out.
I mean, listen, if he plays in this window and he hops out, he probably beats Psycho in this fight, for being honest.
It really just depends if Psycho hits his flick. That's what I'm always worried about in situations like this, specifically with him as well. Is he's just such an incredible player. You think you got him caught off guard, and then all of a sudden you're dead. Especially with Hasham on such low HP, he's just got to hit that one shot. So. A little worrisome, but with a lot of round remaining and a lot of damage done to Hasham, Nip are going to lean back into their info game to see if they can have anything else to exploit.
They're looking to... Oh, Hasham makes it off. They wanted to try and finish him off from down below, but he just barely sneaks behind.
Please stay here, Hasham. This is going to be so magical if this is the way that things go down.
I mean, this is ridiculous at this point. I mean, NIP are setting up for their execute, but they're running into the same problem that Geekay had, Sam. They weren't able to clear out stock, weren't able to get any other angles. They're sending the nade, and do they know?
Did it fall?
No,
Oh,
it's
no, it got
caught.
caught. Okay. The second one as well. Hisham fighting through this. Such metal to this man. Great patience. Muzi's going to be able to find Key on such a crazy angle all the way to the outside. It's going to be stock gone. They've got at least one, but they have to get in this damn building, man. They're not looking for this execute just yet. They're trying to expose as much of this as they can. They're actually going to shift gears here. Leader's going to get one. He works his way back over the shield. Cons is going to have to try and get some assistance, but Hisham gets one. He's going to shift gears, move on over to the window. Cycle takes one out. They're going to try and expose things from the back end instead. Cycle will go down. It's just Wizard. Wizard in a 1 versus 2. A 1 versus 2 that is completely doable. Such low HP, but with 10 seconds remaining, Wizard, can you get it? Can you get it done? It's up to Trix now to stay alive inside of the vending hallway. He chooses wrong, and it's gonna be all Trix all day. The meta region is here to play, ladies and gentlemen.
8-7 for Geekay, and 2 majors in a row. NIP take an L on their first game of the major. 7-3 to 6 Karma in Copenhagen, and an 8-7 loss to Geekay on Bank. And Sam, it could have been a hell of a lot worse for NIP. The fact that it's an 8-7